I'm a big Danganronpa fan. I played the first game, I played the second game. I watched playthroughs of Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls and Danganronpa V3. I read Danganronpa 0. I even played the Danganronpa Kirigiri Soul visual novel game released for the Danganronpa 3 box set, released only in Japan. Case in point, I'm a big fan. I think it does some things really well and does some things really bad. In fact, when GTA 6 got announced, I was excited, but I was even more excited that Danganronpa 2 is getting a reimagining. Like a second attempt at the second game, which is pretty cool because it's my favorite one out of all the other Danganronpa games, and I'm sure that's the case for a lot of other people. I love the second game, but there's a lot of things I do not like, and I hope in this new game that it fixes some of those problems. The game is a comedy half the time, and it's really annoying. The situation the characters are in are insanely scary, forcing everyone around you to be on high alert all the time because you might get murdered at any moment. Is such a great idea, but it honestly feels like the writers can't help themselves. Hey, isn't it really funny when Mikon trips and shows her panties to everyone? Or when Terra is horny for all the girls? Or when Kaz is super down bad for Sonya even though she clearly despises him? Isn't that hilarious? Or when Nekomaru accuses Peko of shitting in chapter 1? Okay, that one's actually kind of funny. I don't know, a lot of these jokes or gags are for the Japanese audience, and honestly, I can understand that when trying to market yourself as a PSP game. And honestly, having Monokuma and Monami constantly fighting doesn't help, but they're honestly mascots for the games, so I can understand not taking them out and replacing them with human hosts, even though I do think that'll be for the better. But I'm saying if that happens in 2x2, I'm going to be so mad because there's no reason why I should cater only to the Japanese market, even though it is a Japanese game. This is a sequel to one of the biggest visual novels ever made. We do not need Mikon flashing everyone. Please do whatever it is necessary for the sake of the story, but not fan service. I would prefer if this new game is a lot more bleak compared to the original game. It would make me take everything way more seriously since the characters would be constantly aware of the danger that they're in. In the original game, it feels like half the time they're worried about being killed. The other half is everyone being buddy-buddy with each other or being way too trusting. Like, don't tell me it's for attracting a younger audience. The series is rated M for mature. You shouldn't be trying to attract younger people. People playing the games are not morons, despite what the fan base is. Another issue is that the game has the constant need to repeat the same info we know 500 times. This is a problem with both Danganronpa 1 and Danganronpa 2. They feel the need to flashback to a scene we already know what happens, or a scene that just happened like 5 minutes ago. Even worse is when they point out very obvious shit and spell out every single detail. It makes it obvious that they're going to play into this later on in the game when they repeat it 500 times. And also when they're repeating everything, it makes me, when I'm playing the game, I don't know about other people, but it makes me feel really stupid. Like the game doesn't trust me enough to remember a flashback. I don't know if this is a translation problem or just the game itself. You only need to repeat everything. It honestly feels like they want to drag out the game as long as they can to say it's worth your money. It's a very unique problem these games have. It's similar to like Ace Attorney 5 or Ace Attorney 6 where they had to drag it out for no reason in particular. Like look at this clip from Game Grumps playing Danganronpa 2, and I know they're not the best at playing games, but it just kind of encapsulates what my issues are with these type of games, or especially how Danganronpa handles it.
Strawberry Ball is on your left when you're back at facing the elevator, right? But then, Grape House is on the other side of the door that we went through.
So wait, you mean to tell me that if you walk through a door and you end up in a different room with the door you just walked through behind you?
And so, if you think about it and put those two together. Ah! How did they do that? The two towers are the same building, and each house connects to the center. That's the building structure that comes to mind. Thank you.
What?
Thank you.
Strawberry Tower. Wait, what? Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are the same building? What possible reason could you have to believe that?
She does that like slow head turn, like.
Are you serious? I just told you.
But that might be a possibility. We have to believe all things, even how crazy they are. If that's the case, it would...
Now, for one of the more minor complaints before I get into my theories and whatnot, I'm pretty sure everyone can agree that the tutorials for these Danganronpa games are abysmal dog shit. They only explain what you need to know, but they don't show you what you need to know. Like, you need to kind of walk the player step by step and show them how the minigame works. Show, don't tell, you know? My brother got to the first trial of Danganronpa 2 where Mahiro interjects, but he couldn't clear it because he didn't understand what the hell he needed to do. Now, you might blame him, but he was able to beat the first game fine, not excusing whatever garbage tutorials that game has. But it's just evident that the mini games in Danganronpa 2 are a lot more complex, so you need to show how the hell they work, even more so than the first game. One more thing before I get into any theories, you know, the sprites they show so far all look like shit. They have way too much motion. As I'm sure this has been said before, but they kind of look like TikTok edits, and like not in a good way at all. I think they're doing such big movements that it looks off. If a character wasn't moving as much, I honestly think it would look a lot better. Something like a simple arm point or finger rags, things like that. Now, here are my predictions. I think the game is going to reference or do something with the first game, the first original Danganronpa 2. Not only are they making the new Slayham mode, but they're also remaking the original Danganronpa 2 in this new 2x2. I can see the game booting up and just like asking the player, hey, have you played the original Danganronpa 2? You shouldn't play Slayham until you play the original Danganronpa 2. Because let's be honest, nobody is buying this if they haven't played the original game. I think like 2x2 will have flashback or references or something that references the original Danganronpa 2. Not just like a quirky reference, but like something that is vital to the plot of 2x2 Slayham. Something that connects the original game to 2x2. I think the main reason I say this because why would they make Danganronpa 2 alongside Slayham mode? It seems like a waste of resources, unless I'm like misjudging it. Like they're charging $60 or $70 for this game, which is kind of a hard sell because the original game is already available. I don't know what they're gonna do for the last trial. They're not gonna do Junko again. Well, I mean, hopefully they don't. Dear God, please don't do that again. We already have enough Junko. I have an idea. It's the same idea where someone is controlling Monokuma, but it's a new antagonist or villain. It's basically someone who was wronged by the ultimate despairs. They have a super tragic backstory. They either got their limbs cut off, their loved ones got killed, or even, you know, raped, or something super horrific. But honestly, I don't trust Danganronpa to handle the topic of rape or non-consensual sex, because since Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls kind of fucked that up. But, you know, just a tragic backstory. They would like vow to get revenge on the ultimate despair, so they made like a virus, like Junko's made, and they sneaked that into the Neo World program. And they forced the DR2 students to play the killing game so they can experience like the 1% of the pain that like everyone else had to endure when they were going around being like mini Netanyahu's, you know? I think that would be super, super interesting. I've had this thought since I finished the second game. A ton of people would still be mad that Makoto saved the ultimate despairs. It doesn't matter that they would quote unquote redeem themselves. I've always hated that it's played off as a positive thing towards the end of the game, that Makoto saved these people. And the Future Foundation are like evil bad guys that won't give these poor students a chance. Like, I know they were brainwashed, but they caused the end of the world. Someone out there is bound to have a grudge against them. Like, it's kind of surprising that no one tries to go after them at all. Like, 2x2 would be a great opportunity to address, like, this complaint I had. 2x2 could have the great benefit of having some weird-ass motives. Like, we as a viewer know it's a virtual program, but the characters don't know that. You could have a motive where everyone has their body swapped and you don't get their bodies back unless someone is killed. I just don't want to see a motive like Chapter 2. Chapter 2 has a motive that only pushes Fuyuhiko and, like, Peko to kill someone. Anyone else who had played that game, they want to have a motive to kill anyone. Motive should either encourage everyone to kill, whether it be positive or negative. Like in Chapter 1, right? Everyone wants to know what happens in their memories, so they get to know if someone dies. So it's more of a positive reward for killing someone. Or in Chapter 4, where everyone is going to starve to death unless a murder happens. That way, everyone's going to get punished unless a murder happens. I hope every motive in 2x2 is something that anyone can use and not just character specific. 2, having even cooler executions would be really cool, but Danganronpa never really disappointed in that aspect. I guess like Mikon's death is kind of annoying because it's really well made, but it's hammering home the fan service. I mean, as long as they avoid that, it should be fine. And honestly, I mean, yeah, that's it. I don't really have any predictions for any character-specific deaths. The only thing I think they won't do is, I don't think they're going to have 2 people die in Chapter 3 like they've done in every single other Danganronpa game. They're hopefully going to change up the amount of people dying in each chapter and the cause of deaths for each chapter. Like as Kodaka said pretty recently, like character popularity is not going to be a factor in determining deaths. I would kind of be annoyed if Nagato played the same role he did in the original game because kind of feel like we're rehashing it. It's a new scenario for a reason, you know. Do something different, man. Follow my letterbox and follow my serialized, please. I need more followers, low key.